final war.
And I figured it was about time people got educated on what Godzilla is all about, because there's some, there's some Godzilla shit going around now that I don't necessarily approve of. And, Godzilla has a long, proud legacy of just really schlocky films that need to be appreciated for what that is. I think people generally know about Godzilla. I don't think anybody doesn't know about Godzilla. Godzilla is a modern myth now, and it's one of those things where it makes stupid people feel really smart because they're like, "Oh yeah, it's really a story about like history shows again and again how nature, like whatever that song is."
Come on, Mac LG.
Oh shit. No, I don't have it. It's like history shows again and again how nature something, the folly of man. Godzilla. That's the lyrics. But even the author of the Godzilla movies really seemed to think he was onto some kind of like profound statement, because they adapted the movies, the first two, Godzilla and Godzilla Raids Again. The first movie came out in 1954, and then they adapted Godzilla and Godzilla Raids Again into novelizations. And I have copies of those novelizations. But at the beginning, the author points out that what this is really about is about, the horrors of atomic warfare and the unintended consequences when nature fights back, kind of thing. And I don't really feel like any of that's subtle, and you don't really need to put that fine a point on it. And I like the trajectory that the Godzilla films took, and that things just got continuously more ridiculous, and they just kept introducing more and more giant monster characters, and then even miniature characters as well. The miniature women from the island who would sing to Mothra, whom they venerated. And there's even the little child Godzilla character. All of these characters show up in Godzilla Final Wars. There's over 30 feature Godzilla films in all, and they break them up into different eras. And the original era is the one actually I'm most familiar with. They would replay those all the time as when I was a kid. And that's when you had Mothra destroy all monsters, Gigan, Ghidorah, Hidora, I think is the other one. Anyways, all of these show up again in Godzilla Final Wars. And in 2004, that was the 50-year anniversary of Godzilla. And this was the last Godzilla film for a while before there was like a decade reprieve. And now, Godzilla films started showing up again. But the American Godzilla films apparently were already being made by the time Godzilla Final Wars was made, at least the first American Godzilla film from, I think, Universal Pictures. And in fact, the Godzilla we saw resurrected in Sydney in this Final Wars movie was all CGI, apparently in a way of mocking the American Godzilla. So the all CGI Godzilla that they just called Zilla, that ran around Sydney, and for some reason just isolated a couple of punk rockers who were running down the street and just chased them down and ate them. That was apparently, poking fun at Hollywood, because in this Final Wars movie, they were still using, real people in suits fighting around miniature sets.
Let's all go to the lobby to get ourselves a treat.